Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffees with James. I'm James, and this show you are watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and any other places is my morning coffee show. Today is a day we should remember. It is September 11th, 2022. I want to take you back 22 years ago. 22 years ago. Remember that, folks. Some of you haven't been born yet. You know, some of you were probably born in the 90s and probably don't know it as much, or you do. For those who are Gen Zers, you know, but for those who do remember, on this day, Tuesday, it was a Tuesday, and I remember this perfectly. It was a Tuesday, it was a hot day, it was fall. Well, if fall was coming around the corner, school was starting, I was entering 7th grade. I had to go to school that day, and my brother and my mom stayed home. My mom was sick, and my brother was sick. But then again, I don't blame my brother for not going to school, but what are you gonna do? So, I went to school, typical day, and one thought went through my mind as I was going to school. I want to go to Blockbuster and rent Resident Evil Gun Survivor, or Survivor. For those who don't know what that is, it's the fourth installment in the Resident Evil series. Not the fourth game, not in the chronological order. It is the fourth game that Capcom made right after Resident Evil Nemesis. Which this is the song that's playing right now, is the save room theme of that game, which is called Free From Fear, which is a underrated game by my mind. Well, not really underrated, but an underrated theme. A lot of people talk about Resident Evil 2 being the best, but 3 kind of is scary. I mean, when you have that Nemesis chasing you... Alright, I digress. So anyways, I had this thing going through my mind, like playing Resident Evil Survivor, because I was a huge Resident Evil fan. And so the day starts, and it seems like a typical normal day, and then later down the road, there's some incidences that we've heard of a plane crashing into the World Trade Center. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you know, a little biplane, a little two-man biplane, didn't realize, you know, crashed right into it. And, thank you, Seth, crashed right into the plane, not knowing it was a jumbo jet. Now, before I go in any further, no, I'm not going to discuss the conspiracy theories or anything like that. I could discuss that later down the road, but today I'm going to discuss just the event that happened that day. So, as the day went on, and I hope some of my fellow classmates of, you know, the class of 07 can remember this, but it was kind of just an off day, and here's because it is a funny story, but it is also a tragic story. Our nation was under attack. Basically, what we didn't know was a jumbo jet, a commercial airliner, crashed right into the World Trade Center. And my God, it was one of the most horrific things ever seen on television. I mean, you know, and honestly, every classroom was showing news clips of this and showing, you know, this is when, you know, nowadays you have too much information. It was the start of this. So you had, you know, the little crawl thing underneath. You had, you know, the stereotypical terrorist with a towel wrapped around his head looking like a mummy, so you can only see this. And so it was just a land of confusion right at that moment. And I was trying to ask questions, people were telling me to shut up, and they were trying to get information, who did this, who was responsible. But then we also heard that they hit the Pentagon, you know, and I don't want to use the meme that, you know, from Oni Plays, Zach Hadel's, they hit the Pentagon. No, they did hit the Pentagon. And, well, I again, not going to talk about the conspiracy theories. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, and then there was a crash in Pennsylvania. Basically, our nation was under attack, and a lot of people don't remember this, but there was also, and I remember seeing this, I think it was days after, but of my fire company going to the post office and hosing down postal police because apparently there was a scare of anthrax in the mail. And during that time, it was just, again, confusion. And, you know, we were getting news clips and stuff like that and seeing the TVs playing the 9/11 incident over and over and again, like showing different clips, the building burning and stuff like that, the buildings falling. It was just a horrific time. And the wisdom of Jenkintown High School, look, it just gave away, so I'm probably gonna get doxxed, but come at me, bro. Of my school system decided that it would be best that we continue the day and not go the fuck home. Which I wanted to. I was like, I want to go home. I want to go the fuck home with my parents and mom. Jenkintown stupidity. So their fucking wisdom was, it's alright. It's an isolated incident in New York. It doesn't matter. Fucking assholes. This is why I hate the school system. So anyway, they basically told us that we had to finish the day off. And I thought to myself, and this is why, you can say this is going to be funny. So I thought to myself, okay, if the school system, if our school's not going to close, I guess most businesses are not going to close either. And I thought Blockbuster was going to stay open. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, geez, I hope I can still rent Resident Evil Survivor, which was not a good Resident Evil game, but still, it's a classic in my mind. So anyways, I'm thinking about this, and the nation's under attack, and I'm like Eric Cartman, who's like, I still hope I can rent this game. And my dad finally took, so at the end of the day, I got home. My dad took me, and he goes, "See, James, the fucking Blockbuster's closed, you fucking the agent's under attack." And so, and it kind of made me laugh, because it also made me laugh about our school. And again, I want anybody from Jenkintown to tell me, from my class, to tell me, was this, did Jenkintown make the right decision? No, we should have just went the fuck home. Who cared about learning about algebra that day? We have to get that education, and fuck off, the nation's under attack. We could be dead, and we could be at war. We could be invaded. Yet you didn't close it down? Fuck it. During that time, that's why I just don't like authority, because of how stupid decisions they make. I should have just walked the fuck home. But then again, I was young and dumb, and, didn't know any better. But, I laugh at that situation a little bit because again, how then again, it also shows you the American spirit of, that tough American spirit a little bit. Yeah, granted, we were hit hard, and we were hit badly. We were hit as hard as, the day of Pearl Harbor, in a sense. It was, another attack on Americans, what's the word? I am trying to get my sentences in order. This was another tragic event in the same vein, exactly like Pearl Harbor. American soil was attacked by an unknown enemy. We were caught off guard and economically destroyed, and that changed the world forever. I know I made a topic talking about a video talking about Mr. Entry's an internet reviewer's review of the movie Turning Red, which takes place during that time period of the early 2000s. And he's right. After 9/11, the world fucking changed. But I'll talk about that in just a moment. So, what made me kind of laugh about this whole situation was the lack of self-awareness of what was really going on. I knew what was going on, but the way my school's attitude was we need to get that education in. Really, come on, guys. Thanks a lot, jerk-offs. But, however, it kind of made me, it kind of, if you want to take anything off of this, I wanted to rent a game. Fuck off, terrorists, I'm still running a game. We want freedom. It's no, shut up, get away. I'm playing Resident Evil when I get home. I'm playing Resident Evil Gun Survive. I don't care how bad it is, I'm playing that get the fuck away from me. Go eat a camel spider. All my Middle Eastern followers are now just unfollowing me. Look, nothing against you, and I will talk about this too, of how crazy our nation went. So I'm going to start off with the obvious. We basically found a them for us. So what happened after 9/11, just the world just went crazy. Anybody who was slightly Middle Eastern, it didn't matter if you're from like the allied nation of Israel, if you're from Pakistan, not even like if you were just an American born here, like, and you had, you know, Pakistan, you know, Middle Eastern descent, Arabian descent, it didn't matter. If they saw somebody who looked slightly Arabian, I mean, there was a movie, Harold and Kumar Go to Prison, I think, the second movie. Like, the lady looks at Kumar, who I think is Indian, and she was like, terrorist, you know, anybody who was like slightly Middle Eastern looking was a terrorist. Like, because I remember going to a Chinese buffet with my dad, and my one classmate and his family went there, and everybody went like, luckily my dad, being the man he is, walked up to him and said hello and howdy do's, and everybody was relaxed. Again, it's the same thing that happened during World War II with like the Japanese and the Germans, because anybody with a German name or anybody who was Japanese, which was a little harder for the Japanese because you can't really hide your Japanese-ness. So yeah, that, you know, the nation just went fucking insane. You know, overly patriotic, overly protective, you know, the Patriot Act and all this shit. And you know what's really weird, though, too, when I was thinking about this with the Patriot, you know, everything went nuts. You know, we had George Bush, you know, the evildoers, the axis of evil, you know, all that nonsense. You know, the Middle Eastern war that turned into finding now Saddam Hussein instead of Bin Laden. It was just a crazy goddamn fucking time. And so, and you know what's really weird, though? The game Resident Evil, the game I wanted to play after school and just relax, apparently, like, and this is something crazy too that a lot of people don't realize, but the game, in-game, their world event, their big tragedy was Raccoon City. So what happens in Resident Evil 3 was the viral outbreak of the T virus and the G virus. It was so bad that the United States government had to just nuke Raccoon City. You know, drop a bomb on American soil, so that this virus wouldn't spread to the world. And then it became this, you know, kind of similar to a real world incident, because apparently terrorists had gotten a hold, and terrorists and other, you know, evildoers had gotten hold of other variants of viruses and stuff like that. Not just the T and G virus, but like a mixture of the T Veronica virus, the C virus, Los Plagas, Ouroboros. So, even in Resident Evil 4, he mentioned, Salazar mentions, you know, the word terrorism. Isn't that the popular word these days? And during that time of 2004, it was. Holy shit, it was. And the fact that, if you want to talk about synchronicity, Resident Evil, you know, it has a lot to do, like, it is so, like, those two things, I don't want to say similar, but like I'm trying to get the right wording here. You have basically this art imitating life. So you had, you know, terrorism and stuff like that, and the running around the real world, and everybody was. And speaking, not just like just that game, but like you had it in Spider-Man. Like the new Spider-Man, the Spider-Man trailer had, the original trailer had Spider-Man webbing up this, you know, these bank robbers helicopter between the World Trade Center. Like a lot of things involved the Trade Center, and like a lot of movies and shit like that had to be changed. Maybe X-Men should have changed, but then again, they didn't know. So, but again, I'm going to mention the words predictive programming, and just going to leave it at that. Leave it at that. But again, it was just a weird time, and things went crazy, and I think it's been going crazy ever since. But tell me what you think. What was your 9/11 story? Where were you at when this tragedy happened? When the day the earth stood still kind of thing happened? You know, comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a good day, hopefully. And don't forget, alright? Please do not forget.